So today we're going to do some spinal flossing, which I've been doing in my classes all week, and it's really, really good if you suffer from sciatica, which is, so the sciatic nerve runs all the way through the pelvis and down the leg, and it's very big, one of the biggest, maybe the biggest nerve in the body. And nerves, we're not stretching it so much, we're sort of pulling at either end and helping to keep it mobile. And there's some research that shows that when we do this sort of practice, it helps to keep the nerves well nourished, and helps to make them work better, and enabling them to, so they should be able to be gliding, so they should sort of glide and slide in the body. Feels really good too. It's a really nice way of doing cat-cow, but in a slightly different way. And when we've done it a few times, then I'll suggest taking it into plank and down dog, so that you can just enjoy the flossing with some sort of strengthening and stretching practices too. So you start with all fours, and you've got your knees under your hips. I like to have my toes tucked under because it gives me a nice toe stretch, but that's not essential. And let's start by getting into the cat-cow swing of things. So up cats and down cats. So I tend to call this down cat, the head is down, and this up cat, the head is up. So you could also look at this as being like a little humpback bridge, down cat, and then your back like a shallow dish, the head up and the tail up, okay? And we're going to start to coordinate the breathing. So we breathe out into this position, and then we inhale with the tail. So if you had a tail, your tail would be lifting up. And as you exhale, if you had a tail, your tail would be rounding down. So that's the movement with the body, but then we start to glide back. So we inhale into up cat and we send our bum back, keeping the head up too. And then we drop the head and round the spine as we exhale to come forward. So that's it. So let's do it a few times. Inhale, keep your imaginary tail lifting up, keep the head up. And then exhaling, coming forwards. You can even go slightly further forwards over the hands. Inhaling, coming back. Get a nice stretch in the armpits, that's a nice extra bonus. Exhale, coming forwards, great. So you could carry on with this, and I would recommend it. And see how you go with it. If sometimes it can exacerbate, so just be mindful depending on where your sciatic nerve is and what's going on. So just try it and see. If you're working with a physiotherapist or a doctor or anybody else for your sciatica, then obviously take some advice about that. You always be sensible. But if you want to take this a little further, I quite like to do it with a plank and a down dog as well. So get yourself positioned so that you can come into a plank pose with the knees off the floor or on the floor. And then we start. So inhaling, hips back. Exhaling, rounding, coming through. And then take a round of breath. You can inhale here into plank pose. And you can exhale into down dog. You can inhale into plank pose and exhale, knees to the floor, ready to go again. So breathing in all the way up, hips up, head up as you come back, exhaling as you come forwards, and then breathing in into a nice strong plank pose with the knees on or off the floor, and then lifting the hips up if you choose to into a downward facing dog. And then you could go straight from there into inhaling into up cat, sitting back if you can move quick enough. And exhaling, coming forwards, inhaling to plank, exhaling to down dog. And we'll just do it one more time. So knees down, inhale and back. Exhale and forwards. Inhale, find your plank pose, strong belly. Lift your hips and sink your heels into a downward facing dog. And then come down and just take a moment to rest. Either forwards in a child's pose or sitting up on your heels, and just see how that feels. So give that a try and see how you go.